I love the fact that people like to point out that I provide no evidence, because what it's really saying to me is that you want me to spoon feed you everything, where I look for people to go and research things for themselves. But obviously someone who is going to accept the Bible at face value will never actually go and do research for themselves. And even if they find the research, they will often look for something to be able to negate whatever information they actually find. So this person is asking the question of, why am I saying that the book of Isaiah was written over a 200-year period by 2 or 3 different authors? Well, if you actually go do the research about the writings of Isaiah, then what you will find, and you will find this when you read it yourself as well, but you will find that the first person to bring up the doubt that Isaiah actually wrote the entire thing was a medieval 12th century scholar who was a Jewish scholar named Abraham ibn Ezra. And in the 12th century, he realized that the book of Isaiah could not have been written by the same person, mainly because of the historical focus, then also because of the language, as well as the thought process on the Jewish people and the vocabulary that was being used. You see, there's a distinctive difference when you read the book of Isaiah. From Isaiah 1 through about 40, what you see is that there's an emphasis on the Assyrian Empire and how the Assyrian Empire was the primary agitator of the northern Israelite tribe. It also shows a distinction between the alliance between the Israelites, the northern Israelite tribe, and the southern Judaite tribe, that the Israelites were viewed as enemies to the southern Judaite tribe. Now, once you get past 40, from 40 to about 55, then all of a sudden Isaiah switches gears, and now you see that the Israelites and the Judaites are now unified. This shows that this was written during the time frame when the Babylonians were incurring themselves upon the whole of the Jewish people, and they saw themselves as one, having a common enemy, because the Assyrians were only concerned about the northern Israelites, but the Babylonians were concerned about the northern Israelites and the southern Judaites. And so there's a change in historical focus as to who is their persecutors. And in the last part of Isaiah, from 56 till the end, you see that it is most likely written while they are after the Babylonian exile, after the Persians had conquered the Babylonians, and now that they are returning to Jerusalem. And that is where we see one of the biggest changes in the vocabulary, and we see an expanded vocabulary. Now, if you check and research biblical linguistics, then what you will see is that there is a definite vocabulary change, different usage of words, a more expanded usage of words, and a different style of writing that was utilized, especially in the latter part of Isaiah as compared to the first part of Isaiah. And that change is still evident in the portion of Isaiah that goes from 40 to 55. So if you were to go beyond what the apologists try to teach you, and look at what actual linguists and biblical archaeologists, how they have broken down Isaiah, then you will see exactly what I'm talking about, unless you put your cognitive dissonance on, put your confirmation bias on, and then you will not be able to see those changes. But for those of us who are deconstructing, we can see that even the Jewish scholars throughout time, since the 12th century, have, for the most part, come to an agreement with this thought process because of how the evidence demonstrates. It is most likely that the second part of Isaiah from 40 to 55 was written by his son Amoz, and that the latter part of Isaiah is most likely written by those who were followers of the teachings of Isaiah. So I've given you the names for you to go and research. The question now is, are you willing to go and do that research, or will you let your confirmation bias and your cognitive dissonance take over and see things as, oh, come on, man, you're lying? And the fact that you said that these are Aryan doctrines, how is it an Aryan doctrine when the person who the first person who noticed it and brought it to the attention of the world, was a Jewish scholar named Abraham ibn Ezra. So stop with your low-level racist thought process and go and do some research without a predetermined landing point. And maybe your eyes will be open. I doubt it very seriously, but it's okay. Because for those of us who are deconstructing, I know that that piece of information that they will go and do the further research and assist them in their journey of deconstructing. So you have a great day. And remember always, you have to free yourself to be yourself because your greatness is non-negotiable. Good journey, good vibration.